Hi guys, my name is Meads. This is going to be a review for Sentinel's War Machine. And this is part of the re-edit Armaments series. And that's something I'm looking forward into getting. I got this today. Got mine from Miami. And here we go. Here's the box. It's quite huge. Re-edit. That sticker made in factory. Always fascinated by that. And it's designed by Chemical Attack. Underneath, we got more info. This is the fourth one of the line. There we go. And some kind of lettering there is well, Reddit. There we go. Kind of interesting. And I think that's pretty much it for the box. On the outside, it's a windowed box held by a Velcro. And inside, we get the loadout. And I think they always have that caution thing that do not pull, because everything is interconnected in terms of wiring towards the head as well. Quite a bit of stuff. I got all the missiles. Really cool. And a lot of hands too. And on the side here, we got the nice illustration of War Machine. Kind of interesting they didn't put the... Usually they have some more, like the creators or designer. Interesting. But there we go. That's it for the box art. Really nice. Let's take a look inside. Alright, we got the illustrated booklet here for instructions. Same box art. Inside, more information in terms of articulation, the batteries, the gimmicks, and the wrist here. I'm not too fond of this extra ring cuff they always add. It's one of those that typically end up, you might end up losing it. Something to note about. Seems like there's an extra articulation on the waist joint. We're able to swing it down and maybe lock it in place. That's interesting. And the base, which you can interconnect with other Sentinel or edit stuff. And there we go. Alright, we got the base here. It's kind of like your typical one from the other Sentinel Armament, but this one's slightly different. And basically, well, you can rotate this. They've actually added the screw now, which is great. And I think that's one of the complaints with the base before, because they only had that metal fasten, which easily slides off, and there's no way for us to tighten it. So I end up just wrapping around electrical tape to it for it to hold. With this inclusion, we can tighten it as much as we want, or loosen it if we need to, and that will hold in place, and that's great. Also for this, we have silicone around or the inside of this to protect your figure once you're clasping it either on the waist or maybe a leg. And there you go, really nice base. Alright, for size comparison, as you can see, the re-edit line is a lot bigger than your SH Figure Arts. This is the War Machine Mark II Figure Arts, which I recently got, and it's a great figure. But the Sentinel War Machine is even better. And for size comparison, so the Figure Arts are about 6 inch. Your re-edit line is about 7.5. They're quite tall. Kind of forgot what the scaling is again. I think it might have been 1/9 scale or 1/10 around there, but they're fairly huge. And this is the extremis armor to go along with your War Machine. Yeah, really nice. Alright, and this is quite amazing. Just looking at that paint job, quite great. You got different shades of gray. You got silver, gunmetal, and that awesome matte gray. Really amazing. Yep. Really cool. There is some quite heft, or there's weight. There is some weight on this. There's quite a bit of a die cast. Something that you can feel. This part here is die cast. The bulk of the feet is die cast, although the toes, I believe, is not. I always have problems with that. There's a tendency for the figure to lean forward, and sometimes the joint on this one is not stiff enough, and they tend to just bend that way. So hopefully it's not the case on this one, or well, otherwise we're just gonna use the stand. And even here, this Forearm Guard here, the die cast, biceps, yeah, it's quite a bit, even this. The forehead, though, it's not. But, you know, nonetheless, there's quite a bit of die cast on this figure. Really great. Now, moving on, we have the neck here. Move side to side, lower up, look up. So even for flight pose, it's not too bad. And you just have this giant armor here. And for the LED gimmick, there's a tab here that you're gonna pull out. There's a screw there, which access for the battery compartment. And it takes two LR41s. It's kind of like your standard one. LR41 button batteries. And there's a switch here, which I take it out. I end up putting a bit of blue tack here because once you pull it out, it tends to pop out quite easily. So you might need to do something like this. Flip it up for the switch. You can see the light on the back side. Really cool. And in the front, really nice. So you get the core on his chest as well as the lights. And this is quite amazing. Like that LED. And the LED is actually just right. Sometimes it's a blinding one, kind of like the Mega Man, but this one is just right. Alright, conserve the battery. Well, then again, I do have quite a bit of LR41 since that's been used for most of the figures. Alright, moving back here, we have the shoulder articulation here, and this one's on a hinge system, and it's actually a peg up there with a ball joint, and there you go. And we got this movable cuff, and yeah, it's quite nice. And we can move this, so there's quite a bit of movement here. That's great. I like that. And you got is there a bicep swivel on this? There we go. And elbow. Oh, that's great. Okay, so there's a movement there. So it's double jointed and allows you to move this all. So that's really nice. There's a lot of hinges there. Yeah. Yeah, fairly good movement for that. And you have this forearm guard, then that's the cuff I was talking about, and you got the wrist joint here. I'll swap out the hands later on, and actually that one stays in there. Only if you remove the whole wrist joint, then yeah. Alright, so I think that's it. And you got this nice laser thing on here. Although I don't think anything moves on this part here. Yeah. Moving on, we have the torso area here, and there seems to be something inside. Some details, and I see a little bit of wiring underneath. I don't know if you guys can see that, but you see the inner workings inside in a bit. But for the most part, it's hidden. Then good torso bend. Although I'm kind of still worried about moving this much because of all that wiring. And same on the back side, quite great. And hip movement. It is a bit restrictive, but you still have it, so that's good. There we go. And in terms of the legs or the waist here, you can, well, if you have it all the way on top, I think this is just meant for him to stand. But if you want to move this up, remember the instructions, you can actually slide this down. There we go. Which allows you to move the leg up. Give that clearance. Yep. Which is great. Or just make him taller. And let's just push this back in. Kind of snaps in place. Huh, interesting. You have a swivel here on the thigh, then on the knee bend. Just got this rib knee. And yeah, you actually got quite a bit of a articulation at 180. I'm still hoping there was some kind of crazy knee articulation here that we've seen on other Sentinel figures. Here, it feels like there's like other compartments here that you can open up. I don't think this one moves. Oh, it just slides as you bend the knee. Okay. We could have added some more missiles here on the side, but nah. Here, you feel the die cast, really nice. Then on the ankle joint, how is this made? Huh. Kind of interesting, but you can move it up and down, side to side. Seems like there's a ball joint there. And it's good for a wide stand pose, not too bad. Then you have the toe joint there. There we go, really nice. Nicely articulated figure. And let's go over the accessories. Alright, so the next part is the armaments, and here we go. Let's start with a forearm. So there's a panel here that we can remove. Just kind of wiggle it. Maybe the first time it's going to be stuck there. There we go. And we can replace this with either this one, and I believe this is kind of like a flamethrower. Get the fuel pods there. And you also have this, the missiles. Yep, so you can interchange either way you want it to. Maybe on this left one, I'll use this one. And just gonna slide. Actually, I keep doing this. It's this way. There we go. And there you have it. On the other side here, we just open up this panel. Likewise, just kind of wiggle it. And there we go. Let's try the missile pod. Yeah, the missiles here. Not really missile pods, just they're huge missiles. And there we go. And there you have it. So, and again, you get a pair of them. You can have a pair or one or the other, your choice. Alright, so next up is the backpack, or the attachment on the back, basically. So you have this piece right here, and this will be mounted on the back side here, right on the top part. And before we put this on, the instruction says, get this thing aligned. It's actually on the back side here. You can see the bit of a ratcheting joint. We can push this down. Same thing on the other side. It's kind of worded that the ratchet is kind of more, well, eventually. But it just slides on top here, and actually kind of covers up that screw for the battery pack, which is nice. Then we can add the accessories. First off, we have this, which is the missile pods, and you have the option to move the arm. There's a bit of a joint system there. We're just gonna slide this in, and it's kind of like a clip. Reminds me of the Lego style. Push that in there and wait for it to click. There we go. And you have that thing over there. Likewise on the other side, and gotta have this War Machine signature weapon. You got the Gatling gun here, or the rail gun. Has some nice details to it. It does spin, which is great. You kind of hardly see what's inside, but it's basically the tip of the barrel here. And this might be kind of like the suppressor. Yep. Nice details. Seems like this where the ammo belt would have been, but I mean, you could have probably an ammo stash on the back. Quite interesting. And either way, you can put this on the left or right, or if you have two of them, put two Gatling guns or two missile pods. But for this set, per set you only get one of each. But it'll be cool if they provided more, but I think we're good for now. Too much of something could be bad. Anyways, just realign this. And again, you can move this up as well. It's your call. And just looking at the back of this, some nice details on that too. And there you have it. Now there's a bit more. This actually opens up to reveal more missile pods. And I like how the missile pods actually moves as you open this. There we go. And he's ready to roll. Quite a bit of armaments. I still wish there's more missiles here in the bottom or in the legs. Alright, so that's that. Otherwise, I think what's left is just, let's go over the hands. Alright, so aside from the closed fists, they gave you a variety of hands, as if you have Iron Man. And you have the relaxed hand here, you got a pair of that, or it can be using the repulsor blast. Likewise, same with this. More of the fingers are outstretched. And you also have this one here. I'll probably use this one. And I think this one too. So similarly, you have a variety of hands to choose from. I'm just going to demonstrate one of them, and hopefully this works. So we're just going to pop out the wrist joint here and hope for the best. There we go. So in the instructions, as we saw, you can actually pop this out, and there's that kind of like a cuff or a collar there. And there we go. Put this in. There we go. It's actually not too bad putting that on. And probably move around the wrist joint. And you can have the hand as this much. Kind of, well, let's see if I can move that wrist joint. It's kind of stuck. There we go. Alright, so playing around with that wrist joint, you're able to do poses like this, and with that arm guard, you can open it up. So that's really great. Really nice. Alright, so here's along with the other edit line I have so far. We have the Bleeding Edge on the left and Extremist Armor. I believe the third one is the Iron Patriot, which was an exclusive, but it seems like you can order them. I got mine from BBTS. It's just waiting on my Palo Flute and waiting for other things to be shipped out with that. But yeah, the War Machine is an amazing figure, and I cannot wait for the Hulkbuster. And they kind of started with this. They're trying to put a lot of stuff on War Machine. Yeah, I just cannot wait. Kind of curious on how they're gonna put the base to go along with that Hulkbuster, because this one, his waist is actually wide enough, and it's just, you gotta put it in the right way to get that thing to fit in there. And it's actually kind of sketchy having him hanging. I have one foot kind of like supporting in front, otherwise the whole thing's actually leaning forward due to the weight. So it's something to consider. Posting this, more than likely probably post them standing up. So far, from my understanding, the Bleeding Edge, right in the first one, does not have diecast parts, and there's a trade-off with that. And I believe a lot of people prefer to have diecast. It gives it weight, gives it a sense of quality, which the Extremist Armor has. So it's a little bit of a give and take. I mean, without diecast, you can post it easily, but it's weird. Anyways, that's about it for the review. Hope you guys like it. If you have questions, I'll try to answer that for you. Otherwise, that's about it. So until then, this is Meads. Thanks for watching.